shadow, and I know I have got to carry on. Footsteps, they fall on cracked, dusty ground. The sky is red, the wind is eerily gray. Facing something that I just can't define. Sun it sets, sky grows dark out of time. I cast a lone shadow as I walk through the valley of the sun. I cast a lone shadow, and I know I have got to carry on. Where are you running to? What are you going to do? Can you be the things that you say? It's the end of the song. You're back where I belong. I hear a voice and it says, I cast a long shadow as I walk through the valley of.
All right, welcome back to the Howard Stern of pro wrestling. Monte the Pharaoh, only seen out of Monte and Pharaoh's room. Jimmy, how are you, buddy?
Good. I'm in Farrell's room. It couldn't be better.
The NFL season has ended for us Jet fans, my friend.
Thank God.
We spoke a little bit about Aaron Glenn. Your thoughts? Was this the worst Jet season in the history of the Jets?
Well, I was a season ticket holder for the 1-15 Rich Kotite New York Jets back in 1996. Went to every game, dealt with it all. I think that what makes this the worst season is because of the actions of the head coach. Aaron Glenn came in full of bravado, and I'm going to give you a team that you could be proud of. Took shots at Salah. Certain guys weren't progressing because of previous coaching, and I've got the coaching. We all know about the 0-7 start. Then he goes and says, I didn't say when you were going to have a team to be proud of. I'm like, oh boy, here comes damage control. He must have torn both his Achilles doing backpedaling for the rest of the year with the press conferences. It was the expectations and the actions and the bravado, sticking your chest out and then delivering a stat that hasn't been accomplished since 1933 without getting an interception the entire season.
With an extra game,
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Just because
Yeah.
you're a decent player doesn't make you a great head coach, and just because you're an okay coach doesn't make you a head coach. And by the way, I know we're speaking about football, so we want to welcome our new sponsor to the Monte and the Pharaoh show, the Howard Stern of Pro Wrestling. FanDuel joins us, and we've got an agreement here with FanDuel. And speaking about FanDuel, Jimmy, I was just checking out the great Aaron Rodgers, who could still have been on our team if not for this coach that decided to embarrass this Hall of Famer.
Yep.
What are you thinking about this spread, Jimmy? Steelers +3 against the Texans.
It's an interesting spread. Don't sleep on the Texans' defense. They really have a very, very good defense. Um, it's a tall task, though, to go into Pittsburgh. I believe that Aaron's going to give everything he's got. You're the betting man. Which way are you swaying? I gotta lean towards the professional here. I'm pulling for Aaron, so I don't want my opinion to be prejudiced.
Again, I'm not a Steeler fan. I am rooting for Aaron too, but rooting aside, this is a lock deal for the Steelers.
You think so?
Texans do have a great defense. I agree with you, but they're just not in line with the Steelers this year. What about the Patriots, who came out of nowhere against the Chargers? -3 though, buddy. -3 to the Patriots. So they're giving 3 to the Chargers.
Oh boy, you know what? We got a really good chess matchup with the coaches. That's the biggest thing to me. Who's going to be smarter that day? Is it going to be Harbaugh? Is it going to be, it's really, that's very Vrabel. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, I feel like the Patriots could win that game, but I also know the willpower of Harbaugh to motivate. But this is the most important part of Harbaugh's thing. He's gotten them there now. So you have to see whether or not he can wave his magic wand. I mean, I would say it's on Harbaugh's side. I think he can outcoach Vrabel and get what he needs, but we won't know until it happens. What do you think?
I agree with you. I'm going with the Chargers on that. How about
Right.
this is where my upset is. The Jaguars +1.5 against the Buffalo Bills. I'm looking at the Jaguars taking out the Bills in the first round.
No way. Not happening. No way. I feel like Jacksonville is a little bit smoke and mirrors. They had a really good year, and I feel like they're a little bit smoke and mirrors. And no way, because this year, and it's weird if it happens, fine. It's strange that the Bills didn't win the division like they've normally been doing lately, have made the playoffs, and all the key obstructions in the past for Josh Allen are not there. They're not in the playoffs. There's no Mahomes to get in the way. This is the time for Josh Allen. He has to do it this year. And I do not think they're going out in the first round. I do not. I actually expect them to at least get to the AFC Championship game and quite possibly get to the Super Bowl.
Here's one for a playoff spread. This is incredible. You do not see this often.
Yeah.
Panthers getting 10.5 against the Rams.
Panthers are going to get absolutely smoked.
Wow, I'm disagreeing with that, man. 10.5 is way too much to give in a game.
You do know what Stafford has accomplished this year offensively,
Absolutely.
right?
But again, we're talking to playoffs, and you do not
Right.
see margins like that. I would not. I would not.
So it's not a safe bet, in other words.
No, it's not.
Well,
It's-
that's why you're the expert. I honestly would take it. That's me.
Hey, no, I hear you. How about the Packers and the Bears? The Bears getting 1.5.
This is going to be a very interesting game. I feel like this is a very close game, one way or the other.
And I want to
God, I'm paralyzed.
remind everybody that you can go on to FanDuel, get your first bet in, and you get your first bet in, and we'll get it going. Well, let's welcome our guest. There he is. Whoop, where is he? Is your camera working there, buddy? I don't know.
I see something.
There's something going on. I thought sharks swim in water, dude. What's up with that?
Live TV.
There he is.
There he is.
There's Shark.
What is he in a mirror?
There is Shark Boy.
Yeah.
Let me move Shark Boy over here.
There we go.
Yeah, you got to center him. I see his arm.
But anyway, while Shark Boy gets set
I
up, I
think
want to
it's
remind
fit.
everybody, go to FanDuel. Tell them Monte The Pharaoh sent you. Get your bets in. It looks like good lines this week. So, again, thank you, FanDuel, for joining Monte The Pharaoh.
Did you take the Bears or the Packers on that last game, Mike?
I'm going with the Bears.
I
I'm
got
going
it.
with the Bears.
I can see that.
I'm going with the
There
Bears.
it is.
There he is.
There he is.
There
How's
he
that
is.
look?
You look like
Good.
Shark Boy. How are you, man? Welcome.
Who else would dress like this?
Absolutely. I love it, though. I love it.
Do
So-
you go through like McDonald's drive-through with that thing on? I gotta know.
Sure. I never take it off, man, except when I, just to take a shower.
So wait a minute. Are you telling me you get laid with the Shark Boy mask on?
Oh, here we go.
Once or twice. Usually the girl wants to wear it.
Really?
Really?
Which is real weird.
I love it.
It's like I'm having sex with myself. Which, you
Oh
know.
my God.
That's scary, man. That's scary.
Yeah.
Hey, no, man, I dig it, man. If I had that gimmick, I'd try to get laid in that mask
Nothing
as many times as I could.
Nothing like some tasty clam, right, Shark Boy?
That's right.
Tasty.
Listen, I can't do it.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think you could do it, man.
No. Couldn't do it.
Wait a minute, Jimmy.
Mask
Shark
is
Boy,
useless.
you know the dirt sheet's going to pick this up. Shark Boy does fake chow. You do fake chow then, right?
Fake chow?
Yeah, fake chow.
What does that mean?
You go like this.
Oh, yeah.
You make the sound, and you just do like this, like fake chow, right?
Yes, sure. Boy, this thing's devolved right away.
Wow.
This is what we're all about.
Wow.
You want to talk about some serious stuff, man? Because I really do want to hear what you got to say about this.
Oh God, what's that?
Okay,
you guys there?
Yeah.
I'm here.
All right, good. Sorry about that. So we all found out that an ICE agent actually shot a woman today in Minneapolis. Did you hear about that, Shark Boy?
I did. We're going to talk about that?
Fuck yeah, we are. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
What are your thoughts? Fill me in.
Oh, man. Well, I feel like you guys ought to go first on this.
All right, Jimmy, you start Shark Boy off. Let's let him.
I think it's horrible. I think that's terrible what happened to her.
Well, so let me ask you this question, man, and it's a serious note. Again, politics, religion, not everybody agrees, and that's understandable, right?
Sure.
I think it's a travesty what happened too, but
yeah.
Part of my feeling is, why do people continually put themselves in a situation of danger?
Yeah.
And again, it's an issue. Like we've seen this time and time again where people do illegal things, and then somebody goes over the edge. Right? Again, police officers are scared for their life out there. They're overreacting. The country's in a land of turmoil.
Mm.
I mean, let me ask you this, Shark Boy. What is your thoughts on illegal immigration right now?
It really bothers. I understand what the idea is here. Okay, I understand you can't let everybody in, right? I understand that. I understand that sometimes some bad people get in. I understand that, but I'm not a fan of families being torn apart. I'm not a fan of people. The idea was supposed to be we're going to go after the baddest of the bad, the criminals, right? And that's not exactly what's going on, because there was there's quotas to meet. There's numbers we promised, right? And I think there's a lot of families being unnecessarily torn apart. And I think that's why you see people willing to risk their behinds and go out and try to do something about it. I think that's why people are putting themselves in harm's way.
So that's a great point. I was just talking to somebody about that, right? So you, me, Jimmy, what kind of difference can we make? But that person did say to me that exact statement. If they all band together, you can make a statement. What are your thoughts about President Trump's stance on this whole thing?
Man, I had no idea this is what I was walking into here. I feel like no matter what I say, I'm going to piss off half my fans right now.
Well, listen. You know what? If your fans are respectful and intelligent, right, and there's intelligent listeners here,
yeah,
they understand that you have an opinion. It doesn't mean that again, everybody's got an opinion, and it's okay. This is what this country's based on, right? This is what it's all about. And it's, again, if you don't like President Trump, I totally understand that. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It doesn't mean you're right. It just means that's your opinion, right?
Yeah. I honestly, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of a lot of it. I'm not a fan of most of it. And it's scary to me, the way things are developing, not just here, but worldwide. I tend to lean a lot towards the way of my idol, Mick Foley. Listen to what he has to say on these things. And you're going to hear a lot of what I texted him recently about something he said. And I said, Mick, I agree with you 100% on that. You know what I mean? So, I'm really worried about the way things are right now, and the way things are, like I said, all over the world right now, based on the direction our country's going. To me, it's scary.
Jimmy, your thoughts?
Well, it's a very complex thing. I mean, I saw the video. Look, on the surface, until we know more, from what I could see, it's murder.
Yeah.
However, getting back to what you said earlier, Mike, when you put yourself in a position of danger, let's start with the premise of what she was doing is stupid. Okay, you're taking your car and you're obstructing an ICE operation. From what I saw, okay, when you were approached, and she was approached way too aggressively. It's just a chick in a car. Calm down, guys. I mean, that's at least what I think as I watch this. But even though it was very slow, if you watch it, she does start to drive in the direction of a man standing right in front of her with a gun in one hand and a phone in the other. And of course, he completely overreacts and kills her. So I
Well,
see murder, but I also see someone who put themselves in a really stupid position.
just on that to kind of how much training do ICE officers receive?
Not
And
that
I'm
kind.
asking you because I don't know.
Yeah, no, not that kind. I actually saw an officer talking about it, and he said, "No, we are not trained to
Right,
react like that.
right.
No, no,
Are police officers trained to stand in front of a vehicle? I don't think they are.
Mhm.
I don't think that was
So
very
I'm not sure.
advisable. Yeah, it's not advisable under any kind of physics that
I'm
you
not
stand
sure
in.
he was. I'm not sure he was supposed to be where he was either in that
No,
moment. You know what I mean?
no, no.
So
But
you
but the other
maybe the training would help. Maybe some training would help.
but
Listen,
the but the
there's valuable points here, right? I agree. I agree with both of your comments, right? Because it's there's a lot of different things here, but the one thing we do forget is that the previous regimes
thank you.
allowed all this stuff to start, right?
Thank you.
Let all these people in the country, and now we've got a guy that's holding the bag trying to clean it up, and now we have a mess, right?
And that's the truth,
And
Mike.
we're
And I'm
not
glad
looking at the other people that started this. I mean, what's
right.
your thoughts on that, Shark Boy?
Boy, I don't know that that's. I mean, every other word out of our current president's mouth is, "Boy, this is Biden's mess." It's Biden. I don't think we're allowed to forget that it's Biden's mess if that's what it is. You know what I mean? I think
Well,
that
it's not just Biden's mess, right? It's Bush's mess. It's Obama's mess.
sure,
It's a
sure,
mess that goes
Right.
of
It's
long lineage,
yep.
many years
yeah.
before this, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
but I think it's one thing to close down the border and make the border a little, make it a little hard to get in, and it's another thing to rip families apart unnecessarily. Some of these people are really hardworking people and good people. They're not all being let out of prisons and into our country, is the way it's been framed.
Mhm.
I don't think that's true, and a lot of things I hear a lot of things I don't think are true.
We honestly are all victims of the government looking the other way, going decades back, no longer honoring the immigration system by allowing people to come in the wrong way.
Well,
Look, my
sure,
grandfather did not come in the wrong way. My
right,
my father's father's father did not come in the wrong way. You didn't do that. And
right,
now in the last bunch of decades, we've allowed that, getting back to what you said, Michael.
yeah. It's a mess. It's a big mess for sure.
Yeah.
And as a country and as a world, we've lost simple morality. I mean,
Yeah.
for a man to shoot a woman in the face,
No.
it's
No.
like no one fears killing anybody anymore.
No.
Yeah,
And I'm not even talking about going to jail fear. I mean, if you believe in life after death and a
yeah.
higher being that you have to report to, no one even gives a shit about that anymore. It's like
No.
just do whatever you want to do. We've just lost all morality in this country. You know what I mean? I will tell you, Shark Boy, I am more on the right, but I do understand where Mick Foley. I've disagreed with many of Mick Foley's political stances, but on some of his more recent comments, I agree with.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
things are certainly out of control.
and you're talking to a guy who used to be on the right. Believe me, I leaned right just about every election. It's only recently and only with this current, uh, administration that I've changed my views on a lot of things because I
This
have to. I feel like I had to. I didn't agree with the way,
this
I don't agree
this
with the way things are going.
the sad reality is you cannot wish peace or a utopian state into existence. There's always going to be violent men and women.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
That's
true.
it.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful. And it is a fine line. I find it interesting though that the current regime was able to get Palestine and Israel to sign something that would say we'll stop killing each other. You don't hear anything about that.
Well, that
Well,
that that
we'll
is
see if it
good.
we'll see if it sticks, right? I mean, I'm all for
At least someone had the balls to sit down and get the two sides to talk.
That's right. That's true. Yeah, you got to whenever, no matter how you feel about it, you got to give the devil's due. When something goes right, you got to say, you got to
That's
be
right.
fast.
Right.
You got to be just as fast to say, yeah, that's a good thing. That's
It
a
doesn't
positive
sound
step.
like something Adolf Hitler would do.
No.
Okay.
And you know what? That's a great comment, right? We got to start recognizing the good and the bad, not just the
Yes.
bad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what happens a little too often. We're always looking at the bad, and what happened
and-
today is bad.
And
It's
guess
horrendous.
what? And guess what? You can be a Donald Trump fan. You can lean all the way right and still think that what happened today was murder, or still think it was wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just have to take your political glasses off and look at the situation for what it is, and look at the facts for what they are.
And anybody who leans all the way to the right or all the way to the left is an extremist. No,
I
thanks.
agree.
No,
You're
thanks.
missing a lot. You're missing a
Yep.
lot by doing that. Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, that being said, where did he come up with the gimmick Shark Boy?
El Piranha! Tell us, El Piranha!
Wow. That was a hell of a transition, right?
There
Thank you very much.
So originally, Shark Boy was inspired by a song. Do you guys know a band called the Toadies?
The
Yes.
Toadies.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know the song "I Come from the Water"?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what put the whole thing in my head, man. I
Oh my
heard this
God.
song right around the time I needed a wrestling character. I heard this song and I thought, man, it'd be cool to be like a superhero that comes from the depths of the water to fight the wrestling bad guys. And that sort of
Nice.
became Shark Boy.
Aquaman fan by any chance?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I watched
Wow.
Super Friends, but I was more into Superman and Batman like everybody else, you know.
Well, they scrubbed Aquaman on that cartoon. Now,
he
Mike,
was
now
kind
we're
of
talking
a
about the Super
fringe
Friends.
character that talked to the fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like the Power Twins on that, right? Remember they put the
Yeah.
ring together? That was the bomb, man. Right?
Oh my God.
One of them was always something to do with water, which one of them would be like, form of a gorilla. And the other one would be like, form of a bucket of water, right? Like, I never understood how that was a superpower.
And Glee, the purple
Think
monkey.
about this. I haven't thought about the Super Friends in like 35 years, and I cannot
Yeah.
believe we're having to. But on a serious note, man, what makes you want to become a wrestler? Like, is it like inbred? Like, what makes you want to be a wrestler?
I was a fan since I'm about 10 years old. I fell in love with it. I started telling everybody who would listen that that's what I was going to do someday. And here I'm this skinny little white kid from Ohio, no real athletic background. Everybody said, yeah, whatever, kid. And enough people told me it couldn't happen that it really made me determined to want to go out and do it, man. I fell in love with it. It was my passion, you know?
And how does it happen? Like, you go looking for wrestling schools? Like, what goes on there?
I accidentally found a wrestling school. Les Thatcher was just getting ready to open his school up in Cincinnati. I met him right as they were opening the school. It was right place, right time. They needed a referee. I started out as a referee. That's how I got my start in the business.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And the training was very similar. When you trained a referee, you kind of had to learn the ins and outs of the ring, wrestling wise too. And I just really took to the wrestling, and I loved it. I loved wrestling. Like every chance I got to take the stripes off and wrestle, I did it. You know.
Being smaller when you first came in there, were you like, holy shit, what have I gotten myself into?
A sane person would be that way, but there's something wrong with me. I just was thrilled to be in there. If they paired me up with the big guy for a drill or whatever, I said, yeah, okay. And I'd, lock up with him and I did what I could, So, yeah, I think that would have been the normal reaction. I was just so happy to be involved that it didn't matter who I was wrestling.
Like, again, we're not in the industry. We're just fans, right? But through the years of doing this show and getting popular or whatever, we hear all these nightmare stories. So when you go to the school, aren't you like worried that you're just going to be taken for your money? I mean, like, how is that approached?
Yeah, it's happened many, many times to many, many people. I was lucky. I got into a reputable school with a reputable trainer who actually had connections in the business already. How often do you hear that story? I mean, maybe more so now, but back then you didn't,
I mean, what's his pitch to you though? It's like, hey kid, here, you pay me whatever, $4,000. How much did you have to pay? Do you mind
I actually approached him and said, I'd like to be a part of this, because I knew who he was. I'd seen him on a commercial. There was a local commercial for they had a radio show and a wrestling school, and I knew who he was. So I approached Les, and he didn't have to pitch nothing to me. I just said, let me be involved.
Right.
I want to. It wasn't a lot of money. The referee training was something like $1,500 or $2,000, something in that range. I think I probably wound up paying that or about that. Then I started kind of working in the office, so I worked off some of it. I got involved in every way that I could in the business. I actually was the booker for a little while. I wrote the shows for a while.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Let me
I
ask
just
you,
got involved in every way I could.
what do your parents say when you're like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm not going to college. I'm going to be a wrestler. What do they say to you?
No, the deal was I had to finish college. I
Okay.
met Les when I was about 20. I think I was 20. So I was still in college. And, that was the deal. You got to finish school, then you can do whatever you want. That was what my dad told me. So that's what I did. I got my degree, and I said, I'm not going to use this at all. I'm going to go into wrestling now.
Man, what was your degree in?
Communication. And then I spent about 10 years as a wrestling character who didn't talk.
That's classic.
I could not have used my degree any less.
That's great. And your father's like, hey, congratulations. Now you're a wrestler.
I won him over eventually. He actually passed away. He actually passed away in 2001. So he only got to see me do it for about 3 or 4 years, really, in front of crowds before he passed away. But yeah, I think I won him over in the end. There was a moment where he let me know he was proud. I think
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What took you so long to finally do promos? Like, you didn't do promos till much later.
Yeah, I never could find the voice for Shark Boy. I would say a little thing on an indie show, HWA or whatever, the early days, and it just, I don't know, I couldn't find the voice. No matter what I sounded like, it didn't sound right. And when I did the Stone Cold impression for Jeff Jarrett, he said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put you on TV and have you talk like that. And so we had to kind of write it into the, I actually came up with an idea where I get put in a coma and wake up and think I'm Steve Austin, the old soap opera kind of thing,
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great.
So there it was. There I had my voice, and I never went back. I just kind of, you're kind of frozen as whatever you did last on TV. And so I'm forever this, which is great.
I know you've probably been asked this 1,000 times, but did eventually, like, you and Stone Cold Steve Austin have a little conversation, like, of any kind?
So I was at a taping, and I felt a big giant hand on my back, and I turned around. It was Kevin Nash. And he goes, hey, man, Steve likes your stuff. You're over with him. He thinks it's great. He thinks you're funny. And I was like, oh, you're kidding me, man. Really? Seriously? So Kevin told me he liked it. And then I heard Stone Cold do a couple of interviews where he said, hey, if the kid can make money doing it, more power to him. Go for it, kid, And I thought, man, that is so awesome. And I was telling somebody this earlier tonight. I said, I've never there's Kevin. I've never, went to creative and said, I won't do this. I don't want to do this. Whatever it is, I'm part of the show. I'm a character. I just want to make the show better. But if Steve Austin had disapproved, I would have gone to them and said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not trying to disrespect him. I'm not trying to piss him off. The only reason I even do an impression is because I'm a huge fan. And so the fact that he gave me his blessing was really something. And I went all in at that point. I basically took Steve Austin and SpongeBob SquarePants and I smashed them together. And here I am.
One of the classic characters of all time.
Yeah.
What wrestler made you want to become a wrestler?
I got to go with, above all else, the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Oh, man,
was my absolute hero when I was a kid. He was absolutely the wrestler I rooted for against any other wrestler. The one I would always want to get a ticket to go see. The one I couldn't wait to see on TV. He was my hero, the Macho Man.
So I got to ask you then. So when the Mega Powers exploded, did you feel that Macho Man was done wrong by Hogan?
Absolutely. How could you not think that?
Well, explain why though. What did Hogan do so wrong?
Hogan obviously had his sights. He had his sights set on Elizabeth, and it was about Elizabeth and his lust in his eyes, And and it was about the belt. And it was about the money. Hogan didn't want to share any of the spotlight. I'm all in on Macho Man. Even to this day, I see there's one of those windshield wipers, and it's Macho Man dropping the elbow on Hulk Hogan. Have you seen that?
That's great.
Every time I see one, there's somebody in my neighborhood that has one, and every time I come up on their car, I have to take a picture or take a video. It's just Macho just dropping the elbow over and over again on Hulk Hogan.
You don't think Macho was just a little bit paranoid?
Well, I'd have to go back and watch the tape again, I guess.
So Shark Boy, quickly you get into WCW, right? Fairly quickly, right?
Pretty quick.
When you get landed there, are you like, holy shit, I've just hit the big time. This is about to explode for me?
Yes, I thought I'd made it. It's over. I made it. And then, I signed a 3-year contract. It lasted 6 months. I got released, and about a year later, the company got sold to WWE. So,
would you say you got lost in the shuffle? Because they were a mess at the end.
It was a mess. I was on the Saturday night show. They didn't start using me on that show until after they'd released me, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
Did you still get paid for those 3 years, though?
No. I got paid for the first 6 months, and then I got paid per appearance after that.
Wow.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What kind of contract is that? Yikes.
I had to move my family down there so I could trade at the power plant. And then we had to move back 6 months later. It was kind of a mess.
So let's talk about that, though. How do you end up signing with them? How does that take place?
Really, above all else, I would have to say Chris Kanyon going to bat for me. Kanyon approached, Eric was looking for cruiserweights at the time, Eric Bischoff, and they actually had a separate project they were going to do. The way they described it to me was going to be sort of like a Power Rangers wrestling show or something. And apparently I was going to be one of the Power Rangers. And so they had a bunch of us sign. Jamie Noble, Jimmy Yang, some other guys were signing. I think Shane Helms and Shannon Moore, too, were going to be part of this. And we were going to have our own show or our own kind of thing. It was always really loosely described to me. I never got a specific answer on what the project was, but they wound up scrapping the project. And at the same time, the company was, losing in the ratings every week and kind of spiraling downward. So it was only a matter of time before each of us sort of got released, within weeks of each other.
Could you give us your? You're right on my wavelength there, Mike. Could you give us some thoughts about Chris Kanyon? I'm assuming you've seen the Dark Side of the Ring and stuff like that. I feel like Kanyon was just a really underappreciated gem, even in those days. The guy was such an innovator. Could you elaborate on your relationship with him, what he meant to you, and who was the real Chris Kanyon?
He was, man. But I mean, wrestling genius, obviously, but also just a really troubled soul. We had some pretty heavy conversations. I knew he was depressed a lot. So it was kind of hard to see a guy with this much talent, this much potential. He already had connections. He had a contract. He had a nice house in Marietta, Georgia. Which we hung out at all the time. All of us cruiserweights. They called us Canyon's cruiserweights. We would go over there and hang out. Got to be really, really good friends. I was so sad to hear what happened, but I wasn't altogether shocked just because I knew how Chris struggled with depression. He and being a homosexual in the business when it really wasn't accepted at all. They, when they actually found out, he told the story about, they had Undertaker come out and wear him out with a chair, and a lot of sad things happened, and stuff that I don't think would go on now, but they did then, and so he was just sort of ahead of his time in a lot of ways. He was an innovator in the ring, and he was also a guy who I think would have been more accepted now in this day and age than back then.
Were you aware of his homosexuality back in the day?
Not at first at all, but I did have somebody smart me up. I knew before Chris told me, let's put it that way. Somebody told me, I know he is. And it didn't change my opinion of him at all. And when he told me, he says, "You don't sound real surprised, kid. You sound like, I said, well, Chris, you left little breadcrumbs here and there, So.
But I got to ask you, how does he approach you with this? He's like, hey, I'm gay. What does he say to you?
He called me, and I think he was coming out to a certain number of friends, and I was one of them. He called me and said, I got something I want to tell you. And, honestly, I wasn't too sure. It could have been anything with Chris, because he used to kind of just blow me away with the things he would, hey, I need you, we're going to do this, or, whatever. It could have been anything. And that's what he told me. And I was like, oh, okay, man. Okay. He goes, well, you don't sound shocked.
Yeah.
And that's, well, I didn't know, first of all, I didn't know what you were going to say, but now that I know it's that, I'm glad you told me. I'm glad you felt like you could trust me enough to tell me,
Well, Dark Side of the Ring made him seem to be a little bit unhinged. Was he unhinged like that, or did you not see that side of him?
Yeah, for the most part, he was a pretty gentle guy. He was pretty calm. But yeah, he had a temper. But the things that set him off, he was kind of paranoid. I think he was that people were going to find out. That had a lot to do with, I think, his erratic behavior at times, and the depression. I think it kind of messed with his head. Maybe he made some decisions he later regretted. I don't know, but yeah, he could have a temper. If he got mad, you knew it. You knew he was upset.
Well, considering the beginning of our conversation when you first joined the show, I mean, the wrestling world, how does that make you feel? Like maybe the guy wouldn't have been suicidal if he was, he wasn't in that world. Like, why is wrestling treated like, why is it this way where things are just so frowned upon? The racism still stands, and we'll get into that. Homosexuality. I know the game has changed a bit, but back when you were there, it was very difficult, and it still can be for all I know.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's wrestling is sort of always played upon. The local guy is the hero, the American hero, and the foreign guy, bad guy, right? The foreign man, bad guy, right?
In the old days.
The straight guy is the good guy, and the gay guy is the one we got to make fun of and make him the heel, and the fans are going to boo him.
Right.
I think it's just, they're just, what do you call it? Just tropes, just characterization. They're making them into characters, based on sort of people's most lowest level fears and dislikes. I think wrestling has tapped into that for a long, long time. And it's only kind of more recently that, sort of as society has evolved and changed a little bit, that, things have kind of gone the opposite direction. I think it's more so now anyway, more, people are accepted for who they are as opposed to back then.
But you're talking about the fan reaction, which is a huge part. But what about the locker room reaction? I mean, clearly he didn't want the boys to know. Why? Would there have been a major problem because he's gay?
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, do you think it would have been a problem?
If
I wouldn't have had a problem. Good.
I'm sorry. If I can interject real fast, you said something earlier that I'm still stuck on. You said something about Undertaker and a chair.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and Mike, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but if he's saying what I think he's saying, why is it okay? Now, the Undertaker is beloved by the fans. Yeah. They love the guy. He could do no wrong. But if he's telling me what I think he's telling me, the Undertaker's a scumbag for doing that.
Well, it wasn't like that, Jimmy. What they did is they kind of, the office, from the story, it seems like, again, don't really know the truth, is they set him up because they found out he was gay and he came out of a box, and then the Undertaker just beat him up because you know what I mean? So that's the story behind it. I don't, again,
beat him up to what degree?
Pretty bad, right, Shark Boy?
Yeah, he gave him quite a few chair shots.
Okay, so can I go back to why is that okay?
I'm not saying it is. I don't think that would fly now.
That's what I'm pointing out. I'm really fixated on that. So, I mean, I think that the locker room is different nowadays, I would hope.
Well, they had him come out of a casket, I think, was the deal, because it's Undertaker. But he's really coming out of the closet. And he's singing Boy George's Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?
Oh, God, I remember now.
And very badly. Chris was not a good singer.
No.
And so you got Undertaker standing there with a chair. And this guy saying, "Do you really want to hurt me?" The fans wanted to see him get hurt, right? And that was, that's what they gave him. That's what they gave him. Yeah. Yeah. And looking back on it now, it's kind of gross, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So recently, pretty recently, Devon Dudley has come out and talked about some racism between Jim Ross and some racial comments against him. In your time in wrestling, in the locker room, Did you see an issue between races in there, or what was it like in the locker room?
Nobody talked to me about that. And I'm not saying I didn't maybe see. Well, it took forever before there was a black world champion, right? Like Ron
Yeah.
Simmons is the first one I can remember.
Right.
They putting the belt
Right.
on him. That seemed like that took a long, long time. Where there's probably guys before him that could have been the world champion. Ernie Ladd or Junkyard Dog or somebody like that could have just as easily held the title.
Bobo.
So it was right, Bobo Brazil. It was obvious, that there was something going on with that, but nobody ever like pulled me aside and said, "Listen, we're not going to book him because he's black" or something like that. It wasn't ever anything that not to me, not that I ever personally witnessed that I can remember. I mean, if something pops in my head, I'll tell you. But no, I didn't have a lot of. I wasn't around a lot of that, to be honest. Which I'm glad.
Did the brothers hang out with the brothers and whatever? Because that would be normal in my mind.
We were all brothers. I didn't care, whether it was black guy or white guy. He's my brother. He's my wrestling brother.
Even better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What did you think about? I got to ask you because I was reading up on your resume and I was like, whoa. What do you think about New Jack? I love New Jack, and I liked him as a person too. Your memories of the late great New Jack.
Well, yeah, I told this story recently. So this was a Vince Russo project. He said we're going to take Shark Boy and we're going to pair him up with New Jack. And you couldn't think of two more diametrically opposed characters if you tried, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of petrified. All I really knew about New Jack was he liked to cut people. He liked to hurt white people. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, man,
yeah,
he's gonna want to carve me up as soon as he meets me, right? And I have to think that Jack was thinking, why are they making me do this? Why are they putting me with this goofy character?
Probably, yeah.
So we got together and we both kind of approached him and shook his hand and said, "Hey, sounds like we're going to be doing this vignette together where we play Candyland backstage. We play board games, and it's ridiculous." And he said, "This is so ridiculous." And I said, "I agree." And we'll try to make the best of it. And so we did the first bit, the first vignette, and it went pretty well. It was like funny, and he's got great comedic timing. He had great comedic timing,
He's excellent.
And so,
Can I ask you real quick? I'm sorry to cut you off. Can I ask you real quick though? Approaching New Jack for the first time, approaching him.
Yeah.
Before you're about to have that first conversation with him, I know I'm just a fan, but we've had hundreds of guests in person in our studio in the past over the years, and they all have different auras. And I'm an ECW guy, and when I met New Jack, my partner's usually not nervous about anybody. He's a pretty big man. He served in the army, yada, yada, yada. He was like, oh, shit, New Jack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I approached him, I basically just let him know how grateful I was that he was there, and I was a fan of his all these years, and but I felt an aura coming off of him. Did you feel something when you walked up to him, like, oh, shit, it's New Jack, by any chance?
He's a scary guy. He's obviously a tough guy. He's obviously had a lot of fights. I'm sure as a wrestling character, I wasn't his cup of tea. So it was hard to approach him, and but I did it. I said, "Well, I can't hide from the guy. I'm just gonna walk up and say hello."
Right.
And what's funny is after we shot that first vignette, it went pretty well, and we were both laughing after they stopped taping. We both laughed about it, and we said, "Hey, what if next time we have to?" Because we knew they were going to do another one. What if next time we try doing this instead? We had ideas. And we did it a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. We did the Hulk hands, and we did all the, all the stuff.
Right.
And at least on my end, anyway, I grew to love it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I speculated to the gentleman who wrote his biography right as he passed. They released a book about him. I did an interview for the book. And I said, and I think Jack really enjoyed working with me too. And the guy goes, no, not so much.
That's great.
He said he liked you, but no, he didn't like doing the Shark Boy stuff. So
that's great.
Yeah.
You've been working with Juggalo Championship Wrestling. What's your experience there?
Well, I mean, those guys, Violent J has been awesome. Just they involve me every now and again. They do the big concert, the gathering. They do it in Ohio a lot of times, so I'm a drive-in. You know what I mean? I live in Ohio, so
Right.
yeah. So they'll involve me sometimes in that. They actually flew me. They flew me out somewhere recently. I'm drawing a blank, and I did a little appearance for them there. It's kind of an every once in a while thing. And what's funny is the Juggalos love Shark Boy. I come out there, it's like I'm a Juggalo. You know, like, I guess and there's something with the shark mask and the clowns that just all sort of works together. So I always have fun on those shows. And my wife is a Juggalette. My wife is a big fan of the group. So
Wow.
whenever I can get a chance I introduced her to Violent J and was like, oh my God, it's like she met Elvis, you know. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun working with those guys. They're a lot of fun.
Do you think Vince Russo could really help them, or?
I hope so. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Right? They can help each other. I don't know.
Well, no,
No, it wouldn't be great because he doesn't like us and we think he's a dick.
Okay. All right. All right. Fair enough.
there you
But
go.
we like you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
My
I get it. If you're not rooting for Vince, then no.
That's listen. That's fair. You know what? Shark Boy's got to work, so we don't want him fucking. We don't want to fuck
not
up
at
his
all.
reputation.
Well, they're
at all.
not. My phone's not ringing off the hook. They're not calling me right now. So.
Well, then
Are
good.
you
Fuck Vince Russo. Then he'll fuck it all up. So don't worry about it. You're not missing anything. It'll be over in a week.
Oh God.
Maybe.
Are you
worked with
amazed?
Vince for years, though. I worked with Vince for years at TNA. You know.
How is he to work? How is he to work with?
Yeah.
I mean, with my character, he loved it. He loved writing silly, crazy stuff for me, and he didn't care when I changed it. I'd take what he wrote and just like make it my own, and he didn't care. So we got along fine. You know, he liked producing material for me, and I liked sort of saying, well, you know, I see what you want, but let me do it this way. And he never cared about that. So we got along fine. He was actually kind of fun.
How was he as the leader in the locker room? Look, we were raised on Vince. To us it's Vince. But how did he run his locker room? What was the vibe?
I didn't get that kind of vibe from him. It wasn't like there wasn't a whole lot of I'm going to gather the talent together and tell them all what to do. He was more of a one-on-one kind of thing. You know, he'd go talk to people individually in little groups.
Okay.
He produced a lot. He would go and he'd take the 4 or 5 people in a vignette and talk to them, as opposed to, guys, this is big picture. You know, he didn't really have that role. At least I don't remember that being the case. In my case, it was always, here's what I want you to do, or here's what I want you guys to do. It was a lot of vignette stuff. He didn't really mess with the wrestling much. He'll be the first one to tell you when it comes to actually what happens bell to bell, that's not his specialty. Despite being a former world champion.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. What was the difference between him and Eric Bischoff?
Oh God.
Well, honestly, I didn't get to work with Eric that much. By the time when I got used, for the most part, it was on the Saturday night show, and that was Arn Anderson, Mike Graham, Jimmy Hart. There were certain guys who sort of booked and ran and wrote that show. Those were the guys that I spent most of my time with. Eric, not so much. I didn't have a lot of interaction with him. And, you know, that was – then when Eric and Hulk came to TNA, I was one of the casualties. They laid me off right away. They had to pay those guys, you know. So I got put on the shelf when that happened.
Scumbags.
Wow. It's a tough –
Speaking of Hogan, we lost Hogan late last year. Your thoughts on Hulk Hogan, the character, and as a fan and as a wrestler, and then your thoughts on the fans' late reactions to the Hulkster and the way he was treated towards the end.
As a character, he's on the Mount Rushmore. I don't know if you can talk about wrestling without he's on the mountain. He has to be, I think. Hulkamania was a force as big as wrestling at the time, if not bigger in some circles. You know, hard to deny how many people got interested in wrestling and how much crossover there was with MTV and Rocky movies and all that because of Hulk. And Hulk and Vince working together. I look at them like Brady and Belichick. You know, you got Hulk and Vince. That was the combo that was magic. and that character just all time. As far as the way the fans reacted at the end, I think he did what I did earlier in this show and gave his opinion on politics. I think right. He showed up at the rally and had the red, white, and blue beer and said, and all that. And I think he got a fair amount of backlash for that. That's the world we live in now. Because there's so much hate from one side to the other. So much hate that goes on right now. If you disagree with me at all, you must be a leftist loony or a right-wing nut job or right. You have to be labeled as that. And I think, especially when they brought Hulk out in California, of all places, after attending the Republican convention, it wasn't a smart idea to do that. I don't think. It's sad. It's sad. But then Hulk wasn't perfect. There were plenty of things he did along the way, and I don't have to go into them. You know the stuff I'm talking about.
Right.
A lot of people he upset, and for a lot of good reason. So, he was a person at the end of the day. There's a lot of people who think he held people down, held people back because he held onto the spotlight for too long. He wanted to be the main guy. And that's too bad because whether you're talking as a babyface Hulkamania run or as the NWO, my God, that was arguably the biggest heel turn ever. He really had a lot to do with shaping this industry.
Would it be fair to say that anyone who was given the opportunity to have a program with Hulk Hogan, because it's well accounted on all our shows that anybody has said that if they were on a card with Hogan, even if they were at the bottom of the card, they made more money. So Is it fair to say that anyone who even had a program with Hogan was putting them over whether they were getting the belt or not?
That's fair. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
He made so many stars. So many stars. People still talk about Kamala because Kamala had that program with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I
did a show once, and sometimes somebody will cancel and they'll call me up, or they'll call somebody, hey, we can get so and so to fill in. King Kong Bundy canceled, and they called me, and I was going to come in, but we had a falling out or whatever reason, and the guy says, you know what? That's fine. I don't need you. He goes, when I told all these people that you were going to be replacing King Kong Bundy, they were disappointed. And I said, well, no shit. King Kong Bundy was in the main event of WrestleMania 2 with Hulk Hogan in a blue steel cage, and you're the idiot that tried to replace Bundy with me. What are you talking about, right? So, yeah, anybody who worked with Hulk was huge, huge.
Talk to us about you suing Miramax and Harvey Weinstein.
Oof. I can't. I can't do it, man. Look at that. You got a graphic for it and everything.
Yeah. Is this still an active lawsuit?
No, I just can't. It's a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, okay. I got you.
If I talk to you, I got to cut them a check, and that ain't happening. So
no, I got you. But so then the good news, at least we got here, is you won.
Well, we settled.
Yeah. There you go. Well, congratulations for that.
Thank you. It took 2 years. I can tell you it was a trademark situation. I had the name trademarked. They used it. I called a lawyer. Took 2 years. We settled out of court. And beyond that, I really can't talk about it. That's it. Those are the facts.
And then Shark Boy rocks. That's what we're talking about. Well done.
You should have realized, though, because Rob Zombie didn't get along with them either with those Halloween movies, man. It was
really?
Good. I didn't know he had problems with them too.
In the end, it works out. So, tell us, Shark Boy, what is your favorite memory in wrestling?
Of my own, or
of
just
your own?
Of my own. I told you I got the chance to. I told you my hero was Macho Man. I got the chance to do a vignette with Macho Man at TNA. So for me, that was like getting a pass ball with Babe Ruth. You know what I mean? Like that was what happened. They did a deal where Macho he was outnumbered by Jeff Jarrett and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. X-Pac might have been there too. He was outnumbered, and he called out all the TNA baby faces. And normally when they do stuff like that, I'll stand there and hold the curtain open. Come on, guys, let's go out to the ring, and I'll run out there at the end when all the dust is settled. But this time, I was the first one through the curtain. If you go back and find the video, I'm sprinting out to the ring, slide in the ring. all the baby faces slide in the ring, and at the end of it all, Macho gives me a hug and shoots the Finn, and you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, I'm blown away by this. I can't even believe this happened. So then fast forward to after the show's over, he's walking up the steps to his trailer. He had his own trailer, naturally. And I'm walking by, and he goes, Shark Boy. And because I'd introduced myself to him before the show, he comes down the steps, and he gives me a hug, and he leans in, and hopefully you guys will know what this means. He leans in, and he goes, thanks for the rub, brother. Like I did him a favor, right? Like
Love it. Love it. Love it.
And that to me is one of my favorite wrestling memories. Another one would probably be my dad was at the Pillman Memorial Show when they gave me the trophy. It was one of the last times my dad ever saw me wrestle. And I'm told that he had tears in his eyes when I won the big tournament. So that was, I would say that and the Macho Man. Those are my, because those were my heroes when I was a kid. My dad and Macho Man Randy Savage.
What has become of wrestling? It feels very diluted nowadays. Why do we not see another? I know not that there could be another Macho Man Randy Savage, but where are the characters to latch onto? Everything feels very vanilla right now.
Yeah, very cookie cutter. We kind of want this look. We kind of want this style. We kind of want this, promo. There's not a whole lot of self-expression left anymore. It's frowned upon, I think, quite a bit. That's the problem, I think. Even The Rock, even that era, The Rock and Stone Cold were allowed to sort of be themselves and explore their characters. And I don't think the guys have that as much freedom anymore. I think they know what the office wants, so that's what they give them. And that limits the creative element of the business, I think.
Too much choreography and not enough Fred Astaire's?
Maybe. I guess that's one way to put it. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice just not everybody looked the same back then. Bundy didn't look like Hogan, Andre didn't look like the Coco Beware. I mean, there was a variety. And nowadays there's a lot of guys you can just kind of swap out and it wouldn't make any difference.
So Shark Boy, we've got a lot of haters, a lot of wrestlers hate us. But you know what? I'm hoping that I think I know I'm right. One of our major haters is keeping it real, keeping it 100 with Disco and Conan. What are your feelings about Disco and Conan?
I love Conan. That's it.
That's unfortunate.
You can't give us a little something on Disco.
Oh no, I mean Glenn and I go back and forth all the time. It's good natured for the most part. He ribs a little hard sometimes. I rib harder when he does, so it's okay. But no, Conan and I we go back a ways. I go back with both those guys a long ways. Truth be told, they're friends of mine, so I can't get on here and dog them for you. But if you want me to deliver a message to them, I'd be happy to. Whenever you.
No, you don't have to. We'll deliver it ourselves.
Okay.
We do it every week.
Yeah,
I get along with everybody pretty much until all the stuff I said earlier about Trump. That'll probably cause some problems, but otherwise.
You know what? You got probably a bunch of people agreeing with you there. So
yeah, half the country. It's half and half, right? Yeah.
You can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
But I will be honest with you. If I had to choose between Trump and Conan and Disco, I'll go with Trump. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's tough.
Can you at least share with this?
Go with Conan and leave the other two on.
Let me ask you this. At least say this. Was Disco Inferno maybe the dumbest gimmick of all time?
Maybe.
Wow.
Although, didn't he pitch Bill Ding, the construction guy, Bill Ding? That would have been worse.
And he wasn't a very good worker, was he?
Oh, no.
He wasn't the worst, but no, I don't know. I think he was okay. I don't know. I've seen him have some matches where there was some, but I don't know if it's his fault or not. But
he was okay. He was okay, like a 2-star Newsday movie review. Is that what you're saying?
See, but he would say the same thing about me. He'd go, Shark Boy,
wow.
He's all right. He was okay.
All right. Look, could you take him in a real fight, though?
Yeah.
He's a shark.
I think I did once, actually.
Did you beat him up?
I think so. Yeah, we were both pretty drunk.
But isn't he like
back to his hotel room after?
Isn't he like a bodyguard for like some strip joint or some shit like that?
Something like that. Yeah. I think so. He's in Vegas now. He's out in Vegas.
So anyway, man, we want to thank you for joining us. Really, it's been an honor. You've done a lot in the industry that you should be very proud of. One of the great
Oh,
gimmicks of all time. So we
thank
really do
you.
appreciate you, and we really do appreciate your honesty. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. This was fun. This is a lot of stuff I don't normally talk about. Believe me.
Cool.
So
We don't
if
really
nothing else, this was not
talk.
boring.
It's a wrestling based show. We don't really talk a lot of wrestling. We really, again, it's very hard to talk about how did that armbar feel on Saturday night's main event at 6:05 on TBS Superstation. I don't know. Can't thrill.
Yeah.
Does the ring bell hurt your ears when
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
We're gonna hit you with something called the Pharaoh's final question, not
Okay.
part of the script. Let's see what Jimmy's got to say. Jimmy, you're on your own there, buddy.
Yeah, certainly. Are you shocked sometimes when you think about all these years later, people still want to know what you're up to and want to come
Yeah.
see you, and here you are on Monte and the Pharaoh? I mean, any
Yes.
thoughts about that after all these years? The staying power of Shark Boy.
It blows me away. One of the things, and I was again talking about this recently. One of the things that they remember me for is this 15-second interview I did on MTV's True Life. I'm a Pro Wrestler. You're nodding your head. You probably remember it too. It's crazy,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
15 seconds back in 1999, I
Yep.
was on this show, and yet to this day, people don't ask me about TNA or WCW. They ask me about MTL, the True Life. What was that like being on that show? You know what I mean? So yes, what I don't know what the explanation is. What I do know is that the fans have been behind me every step of the way, whether it's WCW, TNA, the independent promotions, anywhere it is that I've gone, they still show me love. To this day, they still show me so much love. I don't understand it, but I really appreciate it, and the love goes right back out to them. Without them, I wouldn't have got to live my dream.
I love it. Here's a little bit of an insulting question. I'm angry about it. Fans
Okay.
asking, who would win in a match between you and Mikey Whipwreck? Come on now. That's ridiculous.
I respect Mikey. I don't know.
Mikey's
I don't
pretty
know who would
tough.
win. That would probably end in some kind of draw where we beat each other, right? It would be some
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Mikey's pretty tough.
Listen,
What do you think?
FanDuel posted the odds. You're plus 10 in that match.
What?
All right, Shark Boy. Thank you again. Enjoy yourself. I want to thank you again for joining the Howard Stern of Pro Wrestling. Thank you, Shark Boy.
Okay, thanks, guys. Take care.
Be well.
Thanks, brother.
Jimmy Shark Boy.
He was fun. I like that.
I like Shark Boy.
Yeah.
I like having
Yeah,
serious
and he-
conversations and calling someone Shark Boy.
Well, that's part of the ponds we swim in. I'm not surprised that swimming. I almost went like, yeah, that's the pond we swim in. What the fuck? What's wrong with my
It was
speech?
quite enjoyable.
Yeah. No, I
Let's
was
see what
fine.
B40's got to say. B40 says
B40.
it's the
What
weirdo
up?
marks in the fan base that booed Hogan. Okay, listen, totally get it. We were
Yeah.
all angry about that. Absolutely.
Very good.
I did want to tell you something. There is, we want to be the first ones to announce it. First of all, I want to say to Hannibal out there, Hannibal tried to get us a strike, and we won. So good try, Hannibal. It's not going to work. Do you know that the video that or the soundtrack that we play of Hannibal saying naughty, people are saying that's AI driven?
No. Well, they can say that about anything nowadays, but not to your knowledge.
No, it's not. It was like, that's ridiculous. It was like, come on, it's not AI. But we do know that Hannibal has come out with a new biography. You could get it on Amazon. The biography of Hannibal, the adult coloring book, and there's two. You could, like any kind of comic book, like it's got two different covers, so you can have the same comic
Right.
book. It's like a collector's item, right?
Is
So
it
the
in-
one
is it
cover
in-
says, go ahead.
Is it in real blood like the Kiss comic book back in the day?
No, but it comes in red colored crayons, come with his biography.
It's only for adults, though. I'm noticing that it's an adult coloring.
It's
comic.
an adult. It's not for children, obviously.
No.
There's
Right.
a lot of blood.
Good.
We've
Okay.
got two different colors here. We've got Abdullah saying it was not Hep C I gave you, it was vitamin C, stupid, which I could believe.
Nice.
And then we have the secondary comic book, which is what did you want to do with the cat, you naughty boy? So
Nice.
go to Amazon, or you could go to the Monte and the Pharaoh website where you could get the biography of Hannibal. We're going to help him out
In crayon.
in crayon.
Wow. Yeah, big ships turn slowly, huh, Aaron Glenn? Oh my God.
Very funny.
Wow.
I am Hannibal. I
Yeah.
am Hannibal. All right. Anyway,
I am your new offensive coordinator. You will suck and like
Okay.
it, or I will sue you.
That's right. I want to remind everybody this show is sponsored by FanDuel, where you can get the action. Go to the spreads, hockey, baseball, football. Take Monte and the Pharaohs betting in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're
All
smart.
right, Jimmy, we're back again tomorrow. Are you working tomorrow?
Dude, what do you mean we're back again tomorrow? You do this to me live on the air? I might be working. I'm not sure. Why? What are
Well,
we doing?
if you're working, then we're not back. But
Yeah.
if you're not working, then we're back.
Yeah, well,
That's
to
why I
check my
haven't
phone.
posted it yet. So you
Oh,
fill me in and you
that's
tell me
good.
what's going on there, right?
Were we supposed to be seeing somebody, or what's the story? Or you just don't
Yeah,
want to say nothing?
we got a guest, but I haven't announced it yet because I wasn't sure if you were working.
Yeah,
Because
well,
that's
I'm
the
not sure
way I
yet
am.
either. But it's
What's that?
looking like I should be around. Now you got
Well,
me
if you
wanting
are,
to know who
then
the
I'll
guest
set it
is.
up. All right, hold on. Let me find out for you. Just hold on.
What are you spinning a wheel?
No, stop it.
Andrew
Guys, hang out
Anderson.
there. Give me a second.
Blech. Spin it again.
It's not Andrew Anderson.
Blech.
What the fuck's wrong with you? Hold on, dude.
I don't know. A lot. Why?
It is. Hold on, please.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
You know, Gene Simmons
Tomorrow
needs to stop talking. Who are we having
is
tomorrow? Is it Gene Simmons?
Wildcat Chris Harris.
Wildcat Chris Harris?
Yeah, let's poke Wildcat Chris Harris up. Hold
Okay.
on. Wildcat
He's
Chris
typing it in.
Harris.
Why don't you just have AI put up a picture that looks nothing like him, Ralph?
Yeah, Wildcat Chris Harris, dude. Hold on.
I'm better looking than AI. I don't care what you say. I'm like, ugh.
AI's on it, dude.
That's awful.
People getting angry over the AI posts that we're using for thumbnails. They don't look anything like that person. What are you doing?
Oh, what was that? I did see that in the comments. Who was the wrestler? They were like, oh, no, there was something else. It was like, you're talking about so-and-so and you put up Harley Race. You put up Harley Race. You put up Harley. I'm like, oh, my God, what's wrong with you people?
First of all, it's the
It's a big
producer,
deal.
and he made a mistake. It's like big deal. It's like
Right.
everybody's got to
Yeah,
point
whatever.
out shit.
It's a blip on the radar. You put up Harley Race.
Wildcat
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Harris.
Yes. Oh, my God, that guy's huge. Is he still that huge? Yike.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, my
And then
God.
hold on, I want to give some more announcements. Just please bear with me, sir. Please come on, keep talking. Help me out.
Keep talking, help you out. What am I going to talk
Yes.
about? That I'm in a Doctor Who phase? You hate Doctor Who. I can't talk about
I
Doctor
can't believe
Who.
you're watching Doctor Who. That's annoying.
I've been watching Doctor Who since I was a kid. What's wrong with you?
Oh, okay. So on January 15th, we've got referee Jimmy Cordaris will be on the show.
That's cool. We ran
That's a
into him at
7:30 start.
we ran into him at the last event we were at, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then at 9 o'clock, right after that, we got Sean Casey and John Murray in the house.
Okay.
Sean Casey and John Murray. John was the bodyguard for the lead singer of
This cat.
Poison.
Oh, really?
On Rock of Love. So you'll recognize him from that.
Oh, no. I remember that.
And then on January 22nd, we've got a movie. We'll be promoting a movie, a wrestling movie. Oh, I did want to ask you, Jimmy, before we go.
Yeah.
So did you hear all the shit that was going on with Mickey Rourke?
What?
That he had to
What's going on with Mickey
GoFundMe.
Rourke?
That he had to GoFundMe because he owed $67,000 in rent.
What? No, I didn't know about that. What the hell's wrong with him?
Well, the first thing I thought about, did you think that Evan Ginsberg donated to it?
Well, looks like he's on his own. That's his problem.
No, but seriously, do you think he did? Like, I don't know. I just was like, that's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, since the guy's claim to fame is the associate producer for the wrestler, and Mickey Rourke was such a big part of it.
Oh, him and Andrew Anderson should pay for the whole fucking thing.
Look, there he is with Mickey Rourke.
Don't you think they should? I think they should.
Yeah, well,
They milked Mickey into fucking bankruptcy. Look at him. Gotta help him.
Gotta help him out. Gotta help him.
Mike, did you send him $5 like we usually do?
No, I usually when people I really don't like on GoFundMe's, I try to send them a penny, but it doesn't allow you.
Yeah. I think you sent $5 one time. You got the middle finger back, right?
I did get the middle finger back. That
That's
was
awesome.
that was insulting though. I did give $5. That unfortunately was a problem.
Why did I laugh? That's terrible.
I want to remind everybody too, new to the network is the great Shelly Martinez.
Yes.
Vampire Radio made its debut yesterday. Great job, great show. Loved it. Was fantastic. She is quite the talent, dude. And if everything holds the form, Jimmy, she'll be rich just like Maven, because that's where Maven got his start here. Shane Douglas got his start here. So, we're the makers. We're the makers. While everybody else is rich, you and me are fucking suffering.
Yeah, and Maven had Sleepy Guy.
All right.
That was that was the ticket.
Anyway, you want to send us out, big guy?
Yeah, you've not been watching some dude sleeping on a couch. Until next time, this is the Howard Stern of Pro Wrestling with Bruce, Monte the Pharaoh. Later.
Couple things I want to cover, Jimmy.
Yeah.
500 level has now improved on the M&P code. Now go to MP30 for 30% off. Jimmy, I got to tell you something, right? I was at the beach, again, 500 level. If you guys haven't looked at the shirts, right, go to the website. It's incredible. And I got to be honest, right? So it was a little chilly today. I brought the dogs to the beach. I was off work for the Jewish holidays,
today.
right?
It's cold.
It wasn't cold,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I have from 500 level, I have a Roman Reigns sweatshirt. Now, usually sweatshirts are not always the nicest fabric, unless I'm into really nice fabric because I just don't like things up against my skin. So usually I'll get thinner type of shirts, but this is a heavy sweatshirt. The fabric, unbelievable. And you're going to get a deal at 30% off, Jimmy. I mean, my God, it's a no-brainer, guys. I am telling you, once you get one shirt from them, you'll get 50. I guarantee it. And they've got all the sports. Yeah, dude, tell me what you think of it, Jimmy.
They're so comfortable. I got to get a long sleeve now. I'm telling you, I got to, because it was chilly today, especially for a guy who's been in Panama City Beach the last 2 years. It was chilly today, and I love the material. It's so silky. Is that the right word for it? I don't know.
No, absolutely, dude.
It's so comfortable. So yeah, I got to get myself some leveled long sleeves. That's for sure. 30%.
And again, it doesn't. They got plenty of wrestling stuff. They got baseball stuff. They've got football. They got everything, dude. MMA. They got it all, man. And I'm telling you, it's very high quality. Again, 500 level code MP30, 30% off. So if a T-shirt costs you $20, what's 30% off on $20, dude?
It's enough. 10 plus another 20% tacked on top. Not much. It's a steal.
I agree. I want to remind everybody too, the Monte The Pharaoh show, QR code, be willing to check out our shows on YouTube.
What you gonna do when it all comes back to you? Think, man, what you gonna say when it all falls away? Today, nothing ever found. Take a look around above the ground. There's no love out on the streets today. It's a mystery. There's a better way. People love to talk to ease the pain. No way it's ever gonna solve a thing. Speak out, love to hear tomorrow brings. It's a mystery. Open your eyes to truly see that there's no more time left for you and me. Life's such a mystery.